Right guys, and here I am again. I'm going to be making fresh pasta again today, but unlike the other video, I'm going to be making fresh pasta and I'm going to show you how you can roll it out by hand without a pasta machine. So this is my favorite recipe for pasta. There are loads of recipes out there for fresh pasta, guys. So I'm going to get everything ready. I'm only going to use 3 eggs. And I've got 300 grams of 00 flour, and this time I've got enough 00 flour. I've got a little bit of oil, I've got a little bit of salt, and I'm going to have a little bowl of warm water next to me when I'm making the pasta. So I'll get all that ready and then I'll be back to show you. Right, there we go, 300 grams of pasta. Flour and 3 eggs, and now I'm simply going to start, and I will start with a fork, and as I incorporate some of the flour from the sides, and if you want to watch the full process, I'm not going to show the full process again today. You can watch it on my other video where I use the pasta machine. But you are and guys, you all know that I like using my hands. So once I get some of the flour incorporated into the egg, you're just going to keep adding some more from the sides and keep adding more from the sides. If your well breaks, just shore it up again like that and keep going. You can obviously do this in a bowl. It does not make any difference whatsoever. I just do it like this because it's going to be I have to do it on my board anyway, on my counter anyway. Sorry guys, just hold on. Sorry guys, my phone is on silent now. But I'm going to just incorporate all this, and now I'm almost at the point where I'm going to just start using my hands. So you're going to see. And it's really weird using not weird, but it's strange how you can actually tell when you're using the different flour. So I can actually tell when I'm using 00 flour and when I'm using bread flour, although as I said, it all works. And also remember, I'm going to make another video using semolina flour. I've never done that before though. I've never used semolina flour to make pasta, so I'm eager to try that one. So I'm going to bring all this together. It's a messy job, guys, but keep going. And oh no, sorry guys, I missed some of the hot water and I didn't want it to get into my pasta dough, so I've just put a cloth there for now just to stop it from coming in to my pasta dough. Right, and I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep kneading this until all that flour has been absorbed. Do you see how easy that is, guys? It really is very easy. And one thing that I have forgotten, which I'm just going to go and grab quickly, is my little my little scraper, which I use for pasta and for bread. So I'm going to go and get that quickly. I did say I wasn't going to show you the whole process, but I have already. I've just shown you the whole process of making pasta dough. So there we go. Right, and then I'm going to clean my fingers as well. And it's literally just a case of rubbing your hands together, and then as you knead the dough, the rest of it will come off your fingers as well. Now, pasta dough is very, very different to, I'm not going to need any of the hot water anyway, but pasta dough is very different to bread dough, guys. It's much harder. Now I have actually I've used 3 extra large eggs here, and I normally only use large eggs, so I am going to incorporate more flour into this rather than more water. And only reason for that is because I used large eggs instead of, I mean extra large eggs instead of large eggs. So I'm going to go and get some. Alright guys, so I've kneaded in about a tablespoon of flour into my dough already, and it's still a little bit wetter than I would like it, but I am going to leave it like that. And what I'm going to do is when we roll it out, when I show you how to roll it out by hand, I may have to add a little bit of flour on the surface just so that it doesn't stick to the surface. Now I'm going to knead this for a good 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes until I'm happy with the texture of it. Alright guys, so I've been kneading that for a good, I'd say 7 minutes now, and have a look at the difference in the texture. I can now start to stretch it, and as I said, I'm still a little bit unhappy with how wet it is, but I'll correct that when I roll it out. And I'm going to carry on kneading this for about another good 7 minutes, I think. Alright guys, so I'm much happier with that texture. Can you see how much smoother it is? So now what I'm going to do, because we're rolling out by hand, we have to work in pieces, because otherwise your surface here will not be big enough, because you have to roll it out really thin, guys. And it's surprising how much pasta this will make. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to divide it in half. I'll see how I go when I start rolling it out, but I may actually have to divide it into 3. So now kneading pasta is hard work, guys. So I have been really working the dough. Can you see how nice and smooth that is? Really love pasta dough. Okay, so going to shape that into a little ball, and going to shape this one into a little ball. Right, there you go. I'm going to take a little bit of flour, and I'm going to pop both of those onto some flour, and then I'm going to cover them in cling film, and I'm going to leave them to rest, and I'm going to leave them to rest for at least half an hour, and I'll come back and show you. You need to let the gluten relax a little. Can you see it's just springing back up again? Alright, and I'll come back and show you what that should look like. Okay guys, that's been about half an hour, I'd say, and you can see how nice and smooth they are. But the difference now, when I put my finger on it before, it just sprang up, but now it makes a dent and it slowly comes back up again. I had actually already done that here, so it will come up slowly again. So now you know that your dough is nicely rested. You are ready to roll. And remember, I said that I know that my dough is a little bit sticky, so I'm going to have to use quite a lot of flour to roll it out. Now this dough will last in the fridge fresh like this for about a week. So if you don't want to use all of it in one go, I've made a lot here. Normally I would only make 200 for one meal for my family of 5, but I've made a lot because I'm making a lot of dishes. So I'm just going to wrap one up, and I'm going to put it in a dark plastic bag because that actually keeps the texture, and I'm going to pop it in the fridge, and I'm going to make something with it tomorrow. But we're going to be working with this piece now, and I'll show you how much dough you get from just this little piece of pasta here. So I had 300 grams of 00 flour in the beginning, so this is going to, I might have to take a little bit more of that one. I'll see how I go and how much pasta I end up with. So I've got some flour next to me, and guys, I've got a completely clear counter. So except for my camera and the little bowl, I have nothing on it. All right, so I've got my rolling pin. Now if you watch, one of my favorite channels is Pasta Grannies, and these are ladies that have been making pasta all their lives since they were about 6 or 7, and you watch how they roll out their pasta, guys, and their rolling pins are about 1 meter long. and they have completely clear counters. They normally use a wooden board. Now, I've tried to do some research as to why they always use a wooden board, and it's lots of different things. I haven't found a lot of information on it, to be fair, but one of the things that I found was that they say that the grain of the wood makes tiny little ridges in the pasta so that it holds the sauce that you use it with much better. So I don't know, that sounds pretty good to me. So right, and then you are just going to roll out your pasta, and you're going to keep going. Right, and when your pasta is fighting you, because the gluten in the dough will make it keep shrinking back again. So if it's shrinking back too much, just leave it for a few minutes and keep, let it rest for a few minutes, and it will roll out much easier. Now you can see I'm about, I'd say about 3 mils, I suppose, now. And just try and keep it as even as you possibly can. Now, again, depending on what shape you are making, you are going to roll the pasta out to different thicknesses. Make sure that it's not sticking, guys, because you won't get it loose. Alright, keep going. Alright, and I'm going to carry on rolling this, doing exactly what I'm doing now. And as I said, my pasta is a little bit wet, guys, so it's much more fragile than it normally is. So I'm going to keep going, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like when I'm done. Alright guys, so there you have it, and literally that's it's taken me about 3 minutes, I suppose, to get it so thin, and you can see, let me just move it over and so that you can see under the camera. I like my pasta very thin, and you can almost see your hand through that pasta. So it's now, I'd say probably about 1 millimeter thick, and that is going to be well, I'm making tagliatelle today to show you, and I'm going to cut this by hand. I'm not going to use the pasta machine. Literally everything I'm doing today is going to be by hand. But if you wanted to make lasagna with this, that's absolutely fine. You would then slice it into longer, broader strips. You can make cannelloni with this. You can make any pasta shape you want with this. And I think what I might do is tomorrow I might do a video on some pasta shapes, on some easy pasta shapes. But today we're going to be doing tagliatelle. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put flour on it. Quite a lot of flour, guys, because you don't want the pasta sticking to itself once you roll it up. Right, and then you just loosely going to fold it up. Like that. Put some more flour. And then put some flour to the side as well. So you're going to have some flour there. Right, so here's my camera, so you know you're seeing me. And then I use a sharp knife, and then you're going to just cut them into little ribbons, and then every now and then take one ribbon and it goes into the flour. Unroll them, unravel. I mean, they always throw those pieces away, but I don't bother when I'm making it for my family at home. Toss it into the flour. and you're going to keep going until all of those are done. Right, so I'll show you what they look like. Right, so that's all done, and I've got all my little tagliatelle strips here. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm not quite ready to cook them, so I'm just going to spread them out a little, and then I'm going to leave them to dry until my sauce is ready. My sauce has been cooking for about an hour now, I suppose, so it needs to cook for another hour and a half or so. I'm making very special sauce ragu again. I'm not making the one that just takes you a few minutes. I'm making the one that takes you hours. So this is going to be our dinner, and I'm going to use some of the sauce for tonight's dinner, which is just going to be tagliatelle with ragu sauce, and then tomorrow I'm going to be making lasagna and an al forno. So enjoy, guys. I hope that this has shown you that you can make pasta just using your hands and a rolling pin. So try it, let me know how it goes. I'm looking forward to seeing your pictures. Right, guys, so I'm ready to boil my pasta now. So it's been drying on my counter for about 2 hours, I suppose, and you can see it's a little bit drier than it was before. If you wanted to dry it completely, you could. And I'm just going to take handfuls of it, and I'm going to throw it into the boiling water. Now, fresh pasta doesn't take anywhere near as long to boil as dried pasta, so it literally is just a few minutes, about 2 or 3 minutes, and I will show you what it looks like when it's done. I'm just going to put the lid on just to get it back up to the boil. Don't leave the lid on, because it will boil over, and that's because of the starches in the pasta and the flour on the outside makes surface tension on the water, and as it makes surface tension on the water, it will actually, the bubbles will keep coming and keep coming. So I'm just getting that back up to boil again, and then I'll take the lid off. About 2 or 3 minutes. Right, okay, so that's done. And you can tell it's done. It should be al dente. It shouldn't be soft all the way through. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drain it. And then I will serve it up, and I'll show you what we're having with it tonight. Alright, guys, so this is the one that we're having tonight, and that's with the fresh pasta, and we're just having it with ragu sauce, plain and simple, tonight. And tomorrow I'll be making lasagna and al forno. Please give the fresh pasta a go, and let me know how you go. Enjoy.